Oh, hi. So let's talk about range equation. For projectile. Okay. So if you have a projectile, okay, and we do a level ground, it's called level ground. 中文就是说这是一个平的啊，整个是平的，没有上下啊，是平的一个地面，right？ 平的地面。OK， 那 range 的话， right， 就是说从这里到这里的距离。So this distance here, right, it's called range. So how do we compute that? Right? So there's at least two ways, right? Depends on what is given. So one, right? If you are given the v in the x direction, initial, right? So initial horizontal, right? Velocity. Then your range, right, is just the vx0, right? If you know the time, right? If you know the time also, right? Okay. But sometimes you don't know both, right? Okay. So, well, it's not really two ways, but it just, depends on what is given. So this is this R. And if you know the time, you know the Vx0. So this is called the Vx0 right here. Vx0. And this is the Vy0. Okay. And this is the V0, right? That's the V0. Okay. Okay, so the T here is the air time, right? So from here to here, it requires some time, right? So this is the air time. The projectile stay in the air, right, for this much of a time. So this is the T that we use here. That's the T. Okay, so, but we can calculate this, you see? We can calculate this. So from here to here, this is T divided by 2. Okay, so half of it, right? And then this side also T divided by 2, right? So what is this T divided by 2 here? Right? So T divided by 2, we can do that, right? So this T divided by 2, let's just call that T prime for now, okay? So T prime. So T prime, let's say if we know the H, right? If we know this H here, well, we don't have to know the H, right? So we know 0 is equal to the Vy0, right? Minus GT prime, right? Okay. So if I started out with Vy0, and I know by the time it comes to here, it will be 0, right? So this is at the peak, right? So Vy becomes 0, and it will take T prime time, right? So we can figure out this T prime, right? Or T prime is equal to Vy0 divided by G. Okay. So then we can put this one into here, right? And T is equal to 2T prime. So then now R is equal to Vx0, right, times Vy0, and then divide by G, right? But you have a 2, right? You have a 2 because T is equal to 2T prime. Okay, so 2T prime. So I put 2 there. So there's the 2 right there. Okay, now we know Vx0 is equal to V0, and that's just called this one theta 0, right? So the initial angle, right? Initial angle for the velocity. So it's V0 times cosine theta 0, right? And then Vy0 is equal to V0 sine theta 0. So we're going to put this 2 into here, right? Because a lot of time we know V0. We may not know Vx0, but we know V0. So 2, and then we have V0 square, and then cosine theta 0, sine theta 0, and then divide by G. Now this, so let me change in color here. So this, and that is familiar, right? So that red thing is called sine 2 theta 0, right? So this R now is equal to the V0 squared. So initial speed squared, right, times sine 2 theta 0, right? So 2 times of the initial angle and then divide by G, okay? So this, you can call this one range equation if you like, on a level ground, Okay, so we're gonna stop there. See you later. Until next time.